At first glance, a lake seems like stillness made visible, a mirror laid gently into the landscape. No crashing waves, no roaring tides, just quiet water holding the sky in its surface. But that calm is an illusion, because every lake on Earth is in motion, shaped by ancient ice, restless rivers, shifting continents, and time itself. Some were born in fire. Some were carved by glaciers taller than mountains. Some are still forming right now, even as you listen to this story. Human history has always bent toward lakes. Long before cities, before roads, before even farming, people gathered beside freshwater. Early settlements rose where lakes provided fish, protection, and trade routes. Over thousands of years, lakes became borders, battlegrounds, sacred sites, and sources of myth. Entire civilizations measured their survival by the level of the water. The oldest lakes on Earth are older than humanity itself. Lake Baikal in Siberia is more than 25 million years old. It holds 1/5 of all unfrozen freshwater on the planet. Its depths plunge nearly a mile down, deeper than most seas. Creatures live there that exist nowhere else on Earth. Species that evolved in total isolation, in cold darkness, in water older than entire mountain ranges. And yet, for all this ancient power, lakes feel intimate. You can stand at the edge of one and feel like it belongs to you alone. You hear insects buzzing over the surface. You see ripples expand from a single falling leaf. You watch fog rise at sunrise as if the lake itself is breathing. There is something deeply human about lakes. They invite reflection, literally and emotionally. Every lake has a secret origin. Some began when glaciers scraped the land and melted into the scars they left behind. Others formed when rivers shifted and abandoned their old paths. Volcanic lakes sit inside craters where the Earth once exploded upward. Tectonic lakes stretch along cracks where continents are slowly tearing themselves apart. Even sinkholes can become lakes, sudden windows into underground worlds filled with water and mystery. Lakes are not just containers of water. They are engines of climate. They absorb heat in summer and release it slowly through winter, softening temperatures for entire regions. They generate localized rain. They create fog banks, winds, and snowfall. Entire weather patterns can hinge on a single large lake. The Great Lakes of North America are so vast they behave like an inland ocean, producing waves, storms, and currents powerful enough to sink ships. Beneath the surface, lakes are layered worlds. Warm water floats above cold. Oxygen-rich zones sit above dark, suffocating depths. Sunlight fades within meters, but life continues far below. Algae bloom near the surface. Plankton drift like invisible stars. Fish migrate through temperature bands as precisely as birds navigate the sky. And deeper still, in oxygen-starved depths, ancient sediments record every flood, fire, and climate shift for tens of thousands of years. Lakes are also fragile. A single invasive species can collapse an entire food web. A small change in temperature can trigger toxic algae blooms that choke life and poison drinking water. Nutrients from farms and cities flow into lakes and transform them into green, oxygen-depleted soup. Some lakes shrink year by year. Others vanish entirely, leaving behind cracked salt plains where boats once floated. Yet even in their vulnerability, lakes remain resilient in strange ways. Life adapts, new species arrive, chemical balances shift. The lake does not die easily, it changes. And change is the true language of lakes. As you move deeper into the science of lakes, you begin to understand that they are not static pools of water at all, but complex living systems. Each lake has seasons within seasons. In spring, surface waters warm and sink, mixing the entire lake from top to bottom in a slow turning called turnover. Nutrients trapped in the depths rise toward sunlight. Life explodes. Algae awaken. Insects hatch by the millions. Fish follow the feast. In summer, layers lock into place. Warm water stays above, cold water sinks below. Oxygen becomes unevenly distributed. Some fish move upward, others dive deeper. Predators and prey reshuffle their ancient dance. In autumn, cooling air breaks the layers apart again. Another turnover refreshes the entire ecosystem. Winter then seals the cycle beneath ice, locking a silent world into darkness for months at a time. Under frozen surfaces, lakes do not sleep. They slow, but they do not stop. Fish drift through black water beneath ice thick enough to hold trucks. Microbes continue feeding, breaking down organic matter molecule by molecule. Oxygen becomes precious. Too much decay and fish suffocate. Too little and nutrients fail to return when spring arrives. Some lakes never freeze. Others freeze almost year-round. In Antarctica, subglacial lakes exist beneath miles of ice, sealed off from the surface for millions of years. When scientists drill into them, they find microbial life that has survived in total isolation since before humans evolved. These lakes are not just Earth ecosystems. They are models for how life might survive on icy moons orbiting distant planets. Salt lakes tell a different story. They form where water arrives but has no escape. Rivers flow in but nothing flows out. Over time, evaporation concentrates minerals into brines hostile to most life. And yet, even here, life thrives. Pink bacteria turn lakes blood red. Tiny shrimp explode in numbers where almost nothing else survives. Flamingos filter feed entire ecosystems out of colored water and rise into the sky like living reflections. Some lakes appear and disappear within a single lifetime. Others vanish overnight. In rare geological events, lakes can overturn so violently that suffocating gas bursts upward in invisible waves. In 1986, Lake Nyos in Cameroon released a cloud of carbon dioxide that flowed downhill like a silent tsunami. Over 1,700 people and thousands of animals were killed in their sleep, with no warning, no explosion, no sound. The lake still exists today, carefully monitored, quietly beautiful, permanently dangerous. Lakes also trap the past in perfect layers. At the bottom, undisturbed mud settles year after year into thin bands like tree rings. Scientists extract long cores and read Earth's history like a timeline. Droughts, volcanoes, ice ages, forest fires, all written in layers of dust and microorganisms beneath silent water. Lakes remember what land forgets. Animals use lakes in astonishing ways. Caribou migrate across frozen surfaces. Hippos carve underwater highways through African lakes. Crocodiles lie motionless beneath lily pads waiting for silhouettes to break the surface. Birds navigate across continents by following chains of seasonal lakes that appear and vanish with the rains. Human culture followed the same routes. Trade networks flowed from lake to lake. Empires rose beside water and fell when shorelines shifted. Entire cities now lie drowned beneath reservoirs built in living memory. You can still find church spires, roads, and forests standing intact beneath deep water, preserved in cold silence. Every lake is both a grave and a cradle. In mountains, lakes act like eyes of stone, reflecting peaks that dwarf them. These alpine lakes begin as glacial scars filled with meltwater so pure it can appear unreal, almost artificial. They are often ice cold even in summer, starved of nutrients and shockingly clear. Sunlight pierces straight to the bottom. Fish struggle. Life grows slowly. Every movement feels magnified. In contrast, tropical lakes pulse with heat and motion. Lake Victoria, Africa's largest, supports tens of millions of people but also carries one of the greatest ecological scars on Earth. The introduction of Nile perch in the 1950s wiped out hundreds of native fish species. An ecosystem that evolved over millions of years collapsed in decades. Yet, new balances have begun forming. The lake adjusts. It always does. Crater lakes glow turquoise and emerald from their mineral-rich waters. Some are deadly acidic. Others bubble with sulfur. A few are so saturated with dissolved gases that disturbance alone can trigger catastrophe. And still, people swim in them, fish from them, drink from them, drawn by beauty that hides danger beneath a glassy surface. Lakes shape language. They enter our myths and fears. Many cultures believe lakes to be doorways, portals to underworlds, homes of spirits and monsters. The deeper the lake, the darker the legend. Even now, sonar returns strange shapes from the depths of some lakes that fuel endless folklore. But the real monsters are often less romantic. microscopic, toxic, invisible, rising during warm summers in blooms that suffocate everything that breathes. In arid lands, a lake becomes a miracle. Salt lakes flare white against desert floors. Temporary lakes appear after rare rains and vanish within weeks. Yet in that brief window, life arrives instantly. Birds descend in clouds. Eggs hatch that have waited years for water. Brine shrimp explode into motion. The desert holds its breath for water, and when it arrives, everything moves at once. At night, lakes transform. Without wind, the surface becomes a perfect mirror of the stars. The boundary between sky and water dissolves. You feel suspended between worlds. Sound travels farther. Small movements become enormous. A single fish breaking the surface can echo across the entire basin. And beneath that calm darkness, chemistry never stops. Molecules collide, nutrients drift, organisms feed and reproduce in complete invisibility. Entire universes exist below what the eye will ever witness. Even now, new lakes are being born. As glaciers melt under a warming climate, water pools against retreating ice and unstable land. Some of these lakes burst through their natural dams in sudden floods that reshape valleys in hours. Others stabilize and become permanent features on maps that are being rewritten in real time. At the same time, ancient lakes shrink. The Aral Sea, once one of the world's largest lakes, has been reduced to scattered fragments by irrigation projects. Fishing fleets now rust in desert sand. Salt storms carry toxins across entire regions. A sea turned into dust within a single generation. Lakes reveal the weight of human decisions with painful clarity. And yet, despite everything, lakes endure as symbols of continuity. They persist through earthquakes and empires, ice ages and industries. They remind us that water is not just a resource but a storyteller, a carrier of memory, a moving archive of both Earth's past and humanity's choices. When you stand at the edge of a lake, you are never just looking at water. You are looking at melted mountains, vanished rivers, fallen forests, ancient storms, microscopic wars, and future possibilities all layered into a single surface. A lake is not a pause in the landscape. It is a sentence in motion. The same molecule of water that touches your skin today may have once drifted through the gills of a prehistoric fish. It may have fallen as snow during the last ice age. It may one day rise as vapor, cross an ocean unseen, and fall again into a world not yet built. Lakes are time made visible. They teach patience. They teach consequence. They teach that calm is never empty, only waiting. And as the planet changes faster than any age before it, lakes respond quietly, faithfully, recording everything we do. Their levels rise and fall with our decisions. Their colors shift with our chemistry. Their life pulses with our influence. They will not judge us. They will simply reflect us. Long after voices fade, lakes will remain, collecting sky, collecting silence, collecting the slow heartbeat of the earth itself. And somewhere beneath still water, the story continues to be written.